Welcome to GMP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, aka the Going North Podcast, where authors from around the world help you realize that success is tangible. You'll leave with at least one new piece of inspiration or information to help you keep going north every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now let's get on with the show. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, known as the Going North Podcast, we got something special and different for you today because, my goodness, today's guest, a super special, awesome human. We got a lot of super special, awesome humans, but this one comes with metaphorical sprinkles on like a freaking, I'd say around a good 5-scoop cone of ice cream, because today's guest in particular, cosmetic chemist and certified nose, who began his career in personal care and cosmetic and fine fragrance industries more than 25 years ago. This also gentleman right here has since crafted products for everyone from J-Lo herself to Victoria Beckham and the living legend, the icon, Michael Jordan. And this wonderful guy right here is the president and CEO of his own super special awesome company, Turnkey Beauty Incorporated. And he's formulated and developed hundreds and hundreds of products for both skin and hair care, color cosmetics, bath and body, and fine fragrances, as well as baby products, pet products, and an energy drink, and even a hemorrhoid cream. So let's give it up for the one, the only, BS himself, Vince Spinnato. How you doing today, Vince?
Good, Tom. How are you, buddy? Thank you for having me today.
Oh, my pleasure, indeed. It's great having you on too, my man. Like, dude, like, it's an honor to have you on, man. Like working with them celebrities and overcoming those setbacks and a couple scares, and it's like now you're here and then living color, helping folks to, I guess, in a way, embrace new colors.
That's right. You ain't kidding. A couple scares too. You ain't kidding.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Listen to the probably the audiobook, and my goodness, the stories, and learn something new about what the police folks do when you go super fast. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, all right.
Right. You ain't kidding.
Oh man. But as you know, with all introductions, they're not allowed to be 30 days long. So mind filling in any cavities I missed about you, my man?
No, you got it all pretty good. You pretty much got my whole 25 plus years there in one shot. That was great.
Oh, wow. All righty, cool. So quarter swag all day, quarter swag all day. So my goodness. So you're like really the first really cosmetic chemist I've had on the show, especially with the clientele that you've had. And you're able to build this wonderful business for yourself. So what really got you into cosmetics, man?
I knew as early as about 10 years old I wanted to do it, believe it or not. And I kind of laugh about it, but the truth is I grew up watching The Young and the Restless with my grandmother on CBS. And the show was about a fictitious cosmetic company called Jabot, and that's literally where I got the idea from. So I as early as 10 years old, I just was watching this show with her when I come back from school and high school, then even high school later on. And I just, I just had an interest in it. And I'd go away in a corner and make some kind of products in my sister's easy bake oven, like pretend, and it just stuck with me. So I got to give credit to The Young and Restless for my career for sure. Very bizarre beginnings.
Hey, it's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with bizarre beginnings. Because I mean, hey, like soap operas, like I'm pretty sure we've all caught a few of them. If it was one of those days and we're stuck at home on a sick day from school, if
Right,
we are
right.
stuck in the bed. So, yeah, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, it did. So, my goodness, getting into cosmetics from a young age and being able to live it today. So, what do you think helped you to really stick to that goal and was able to manifest it now to where you are, to where you have all the success and more to come?
I really think it just kind of staying in tune with the show. I really kind of watched it through high school and through grammar school and even into college, and I just kept my focus, on that. And there's other things I had interest in, but I really had an interest in just making people feel better about themselves, myself for that matter, even, and then also making beauty products. So it was, and to your point earlier about you haven't really had a cosmetic chemist on the show before. I really hadn't met any in my life either. I didn't know it was even a thing. I knew I had the products, had to get to market somewhere, but wasn't quite sure how. So when I looked more into it as I got older, I realized there wasn't very many people that were doing it. It wasn't a popular major. People never even heard of it. You know, even when the colleges I was applying to didn't have it as a major. So I really had to design my own major and my own disciplinary to even get it going. So just so I was hoping that I was going to be going into a business that wasn't a lot of competition.
My man had to design his own major. That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah,
right, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, you're an original and a unique individual where you have to make your own dummies. Like, all right, I'm
that's
tired
right.
of y'all suckers. Like, forget y'all. I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, and y'all got to make a lane for me after I'm done paving the way for it.
Sure, I'll make it up myself.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's right. It's like making the newest super special awesome cake ever, where everybody has to devour it because it's so darn good.
The funny part about it too is that I grew up in the Jersey Shore in South Jersey, and I was there my whole life. I kind of grew up in a farm community, so I didn't really know anything about beauty or the beauty industry or where it came from. And later on in life, after I was done in college, I drove all the way to California to quote unquote, you make my dreams come true. And then I found out, a couple of years later, after getting involved in developing beauty products, that like 95% of all the manufacturers are in North Jersey, right in my own backyard. So I went 3,000 miles in the wrong direction, where I could have just gone 1 hour north of Trenton, and I would have been and I would have been there.
It's kind of funny how that works. It was like you may have had the idea from watching The Young and the Restless. It was like, oh, okay, I guess all the superstars in Hollywood, but hey, that decision to drive all the way across country to California probably led you to where you are today, where you got to meet all those stars.
Yeah, no, that's true. I couldn't have done it really without that. So I really did go. I did really go in the right direction. But I always kind of joked that I took me like I went 3,000 miles away, and the manufacturing plants were in North Jersey.
It's like I could have been there like an hour or two, but nah, I had to go way across past Albuquerque.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
goodness. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So my goodness, man, like with the travels to California and ending up being able to meet so many stars, like heck, even one of them, if I'm not mistaken, there was the powerful actress, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, it
The
was Lauren Bacall, if I'm not
call,
mistaken.
right, right, right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Where you actually built up enough of, I guess, in a way, street cred to where you're able to get her attention. So, any advice for those two who may be looking to at least get attention where they currently are in their entrepreneurial journey to at least basically the gumption to be able to have a meeting with that person who may help them to get to the next level?
Well, funny enough, you probably picked the worst example you could for the book, and only the only reason why is because I actually met her at Jimmy Stewart's funeral, the other actor. So I met her actually at a funeral because I was working across the street in Beverly Hills at a salon at the time, working on products for Beverly Sassoon, who's Vidal Sassoon's ex-wife. And across the street was Jimmy Stewart's funeral when he passed away. I was a big star of his, and it was open to the public for a very short period of time. But I stuck into the back. And just kind of watch the procession, and really all of old Hollywood was there. I mean, Kate Hepburn to Bob Hope to and Ann Miller, Catherine Grace, and Lauren Bacall. So I actually met her on the way out. It wasn't like I went into the funeral in a pro shirt and said, "Hey, I want you to." I just actually complimented her on the fragrance she was wearing, and then we started chatting afterwards in kind of the parking lot, and then that's how we got connected. So I wouldn't say the way I did it was very unexpected. But I guess the point would be you do have to kind of sometimes put yourself out there and crash parties, look at different kind of weird events. This one happened to be a funeral, so that's what worked out for me in this case.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely true. It's like you really do gotta put yourself out there and really just making sure you keep some decorum and common sense too, because it wasn't like you went to the funeral to really sell your goods. You just went there out of curiosity and to pay your respects.
Right, right, exactly. And then I ended up setting up a lunch with her.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I won't even mention what happened at the lunch. I'm pretty sure I'll save that for the listeners to pick up and
Yeah,
grab the
just to
book
say,
later.
just say it didn't go well. I wouldn't have been having a second lunch with her.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like some folks may not even get that first one, but hey, at least you got the first one and it made for a good story in the book.
No, right, exactly. That's very true.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, the beautiful thing about that setback is that even though it didn't stop you, that you're able to keep on going and you're able to join a basically a new sales company and was able to actually really be the main force behind helping the company to be a success. So my goodness, and I guess even with having the dyslexia and having a tag team partner with that, I've noticed that a lot of successful entrepreneurs tend to have dyslexia. So it's like it's kind of interesting how it may hold you back in some ways, but I guess it may allow for more creativity. Do you think that might be the case?
Yeah, yeah, to your point, I agree with you, Dom. You do there are a lot of people that have it. I mean, I know that Bill Gates had it. I think Steve Jobs had it, and I believe that uh, uh, Jeff Bezos had it. I mean, they're a way different caliber than I am. But I'm just saying, but I think you are kind of more wired to be a little more aggressive and get things done and prove yourself more because you have such the skill sets that are missing. Like if I were to write you a letter, you think I had like, that I had something wrong with me. I can't spell, I can't write. I mean, but thank God for spell check, I wouldn't even have a career, but I'm really good at what I do. I just can't do the other stuff. And then you have to just really be, you know, um, savvy enough and also collaborative enough to bring people in that are much better at what they do and what you do, and not be kind of cocky about it. And you can have a really successful company, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. I could definitely say that again because teamwork does make the dream work. It does
Right, right.
make the dream work indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My goodness. So with basically having that tag team partner, you even had a tag team partner before that with I believe it was when you were selling futons, right?
I was for a period of time. Yes, it was everything I could do. But even when I was selling futons, I was always talking about my product line. I always had like stuff with me. I was showing people. You just never know who you're going to meet. So I was even then. I was still following the same goals and same dreams. I just had to, I still had to make money in the meantime. So that was the only. I think that, yeah, I think that's the only job I ever had that was not directly part of the beauty industry.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. But hey, helps you to really get back on your feet and to get you to be able to sustain your life and then eventually get to the point now where you're thriving.
Right, right, exactly.
Yes, sir, indeed. Yes, sir, indeed. So, with all the stuff that you were able to get through in the past to where you are now, what are you most excited about in the coming months?
By far the most exciting is I got a chance to develop Judy Garland's 100th birthday celebration fragrance coming out, which will be coming. Her 100th birthday was June. It will be June of 2022. So I'm working with her family, the Judy Garland Foundation, and her daughter Lauren Luff and Liza Minnelli to develop the fragrance for her. That I'm very excited about. Not only am I a big fan, but also it's something I've worked on for almost a year trying to get the right to be able to do it. That's by far the most exciting one happening at the moment.
Oh man, congratulations. That's freaking huge, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. It's going to be an exciting one for sure.
Ah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My goodness, Judy Garland's 100th birthday celebration. Then, of course, with the goal with your products, you're looking to reach the Louis Vuitton Cartier level of recognition for being around for centuries.
I hope so. I hope. Oh yeah, I hope the product will be around a long after I'm gone.
Ah, yeah,
And if you
that's
read the book, if you read the book, that could be tomorrow morning. We don't even know at this point. So many. I had to move extra fast.
Heck yeah, I can say that again. Definitely can say that again. So my goodness, so with all this belief in your product and all the tenacity that you have, that seems to be paying off now more than ever. Any advice for those in the entrepreneurial space that are seeking to get their products in front of the right people and they may be on the verge of giving up?
I would say definitely read my book and then definitely do the opposite of everything that was in it. Whatever you do not do that, and you'll be successful a lot faster for sure. So I almost call it a cautionary memoir tale, I guess, if you will.
Hey, that's one way of putting it.
That's what you want to take out of my book for sure. Is like what not to do in 3 easy steps.
What not to do with 3 easy steps.
Yeah,
Funny enough, that counterintuitive advice might be true actually when you think about
I know. Let's call it the opposite book. Do the opposite.
it. Yes, indeed. But there will be true beauty involved, though. There will be true
That's right,
beauty
for sure,
involved.
for sure.
Yes, sir, indeed. So since this is far from your first time behind the microphone interviewing, is there, or being the interviewee, I should say, is there a question that you wish you'd be asked more often?
More often. No, I think you guys actually do it pretty. You always kind of get to the crutch of what's going on. It's really, again, the most important thing with it was a book I needed to write, kind of just to kind of get everything out there, and and try and help people out as best I can. And I call it a cautionary tale, but really it kind of is. I mean, hopefully people can learn, from my mistakes and not do them. And that would be that again, I always joke about, but really it would be a big help if people can try and avoid those things, if need be.
Yep, yep, it's true. It's definitely true. Some of the stories in there, it's like, yep, yep, definitely
It,
avoid
yeah,
certain
you
things.
think the book you think the book should be fiction?
Well, I wouldn't say fiction. It's highly believable. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's definitely highly believable. There's definitely some weed on the believability with this one.
exactly, for sure.
Oh man, oh man. So, any advice for those looking to write a memoir of their own, since a few of the listeners may be in the senior citizen category or close to it, and they may be thinking about writing a memoir of their own?
Well, for myself personally, mine was more of a almost kind of a lethargic therapy thing. I always kind of mentioned I'm 47 years old right now, and I was in therapy 2 times a week since I was 11 years old, which is a really long time. So about 33 years in, I was in one session in my regular 1 hour session. I was always in 20 minutes in. I just kind of sat up, and my therapist was like, "What's wrong?" I go, "I cannot hear myself talk like one more second about myself. Like I'm so over it." And I just like I unpacked the same stuff for like 33 years. I just couldn't take it anymore. And that evening, I started writing my book. And again, because I have all those learning disabilities, I did it all into a tape recorder. And I have a brilliant ghostwriter named Mickey Goodman out of Atlanta, Georgia, who I was my ghostwriter on this book. So I pretty much told her my story to her for 7 years straight. So every word in the book is my words, but she put it into a normal, comprehensible, flowable, story. And for me, it was therapy. So my point is, I mean, if you have things you want to get off your chest and be able to help people, be able to help yourself, I just put it all out there. So now I kind of left the first 45 years behind me. And now I don't have to kind of reach out about that anymore. And then now going forward, I'm kind of starting from scratch. Like I happened to see a documentary on Tina Turner last night, who's one of my favorite singers, and she was saying most people it's very public now that she was very very abused her whole life from her husband, Ike, and very battered and the whole thing. And she's 81 years old now, and even in the interview they were doing that I saw last evening, they're asking her all about the about the abuse, whatever. She's like, I am like, what is going on? I'm 81 years old. I've been like, why are you asking me the same question since 1965? And what else do you want to know? I mean, just like she got kind of agitated, so I kind of really connected with that, saying, well, how often do you got to tell and say the same story over and over again? So I was saying it for 33 years. Like, okay, now it's in the book. It's out there. If you want to know it, read it. I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. So that's kind of what I did.
Oh man. Yes, indeed. Definitely a good point too. Because I mean, 81 years old, and Mike has been dead for probably almost 10 plus years now.
Right, and
So it's
she's had
like,
her own career. I mean, like her own career on her own since 1980. She's like, "Why are you asking me?" Stuff like I think I've proven myself by now that I have a lot more I can talk about and that I achieved and how I escaped the battered relationship 70 years 60 years ago.
yeah, man. Like
And
let
she
the
helped
let
a
the
lot of people. Don't get me wrong by coming out, but she's you can tell she's kind of over it talking about it anymore.
yeah, I definitely could say that again because I'd be over it too. Like, shoot, 81 years old, like sharing the same dang story for 60 plus years. Like, no.
Right. Like yeah, she's like I'm done.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, speaking of documentaries, I believe you have one of your own coming out called Skin Deep, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, exactly right. It'll be coming out in the fall of 2021. And what that is kind of a deeper dive in what I do, showing America how we develop products from concept to launch and getting them to the market. So it profiles a lot of our clients and how we actually go through the R&D process, the manufacturing process, getting it to the store shelf. So it's really kind of more of a kind of a how it's made. You're kind of showing how we get it to the market, but also it's very informational in my personal life. And it was a 7 year journey of the film crew following me around. So it wasn't quickly done. It was over 7 years. So it shows the whole kind of duration of a lot of the products that we have coming out.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. Definitely informational, something for those who may want to aspire to go into that line of work, especially since, well, a lot of folks may be curious, be like, hey, so we're tired of the animal products being put in some of the beauty stuff. I wonder what my man Vince is doing.
That's right. What's he up to?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's right, folks. Be on the lookout for that documentary. Indeed, it'll be definitely hot. That's right. It'll be hot fire, y'all. Definitely hot fire. Keep you warm in the fall months. Indeed, something to Netflix and chill with, probably. I imagine.
That's right.
Oh man. Well, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you were 25 again, but this time in the current year of 2021 with all of your knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
I guess I forced myself to have to learn how to TikTok, which I guess I don't have a choice because I just can't do it, dude. But I hate I hate this. It really would be the social media stuff. I personally despise social media, and I just realized, and anyone in my career, my age right now, if you don't do it, you get left behind. We just kind of have to do it. But I don't know how, God bless them, how they can spend all day long TikToking. But I guess that would be I have to figure out how to do it and, and force myself to do it. I guess so. That would be it. TikTok from hell, dude. I watch it and I enjoy it. I mean, you can go a TikTok hole. I enjoy it, but I don't do any content. I don't have the interest. I mean, or know how to do any of the dances for 25 minutes. That's for sure. I don't. But I guess that would be the main thing is educating myself how to be in social media more accurately and not look like a douche.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah,
Picture in front of the obligatory wretched Lamborghini
that's
with an
right.
inspirational quote.
That's right.
Oh man, but it's not just social media though. You got thousands of followers on the Instagram, so you're doing something right.
Well, that's my social media person. Yeah, exactly. Her name is Jennifer Daigle, and she's brilliant. And thank God she's out here in California with me, and she handles it all for me. I mean, I give the content, but she does it all. I'm like, don't ask me to take a picture of my salad at lunch. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, good, good,
That's right.
good. Yeah, but I don't blame about that TikTok though. I'm 29 myself, and I'm not even a fan of TikTok. I'm like, I think I'll happily miss that part of social media. I can only there's
Yeah.
like so many darn social medias out there. Heck, even I think at the time of this recording, I think there's a like Spotify has their own version of Clubhouse called Green Room now, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
new to me. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God, like how are we gonna keep up with all this?
I'm still back on MySpace, probably. I don't even, I'm sure I have a profile on there somewhere.
Yeah. Funny enough, they didn't even let me delete my account. I think it was like back in 2010 or something. I remembered I
Yeah.
had one.
They want to keep you locked in.
It's like, damn it, we're keeping you here. You're not escaping. We know Facebook
That's
killed
right.
us back then, but you're staying here. You're not leaving.
That's right.
Oh man. Well, the thing is, people need to make sure once they're done listening to this, they need to check out all your stuff and, of course, all your product line and everything else. So, what's the best way for folks to keep in contact with you and keep up to date with all the stuff that Vince is doing?
Sure. I have one main website, which is vincespinato.com, just VINCE Spinato, SPINNATO.com. And you can, all the feeds go from there from my good, that takes you to my book landing page, to the documentary landing page, also to my caviar and diamond skincare line. So you kind of can start with that, and that brings you to everywhere else. It also has all my social media on there as well. All my social media for everything, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, is all Vince Spinato. It's all just my name.
Woo! Well, there you have it, folks. We'll put all that stuff in the show notes. Head over to vincespinato.com, grab a copy of the book, heck, the audio book too, and as well listen as well as read. And it's also an ebook too, so you can hit it on all three areas and check out the skincare line if you so desire and turn up your fabulosity meter indeed. Because if my man made help make the fragrance for Michael Jordan that's still selling today, then you're gonna be smelling good with all the O's, y'all. That's right,
Right.
all the O's. Yes, indeed. So, any parting words before we close up shop, my man?
I don't think so, Don. Just go with God. That's all we can say, right?
How's it going, you super special, awesome human? Since you made it to the end of this episode, it looks like you really enjoyed yourself. Since you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with at least 3 people in your network and tell them what you really liked about this episode.